Hello everyone, let's look at Halloween. Actually, one day before Halloween, we will have an interesting energy pattern in the sky, which I'm going to show you in a minute. These are very interesting days actually, because you have Halloween on October 31st, and in Europe, we don't really celebrate Halloween. It's not among our main festivals, let's put it this way, but we do celebrate All Saints' Day and the Day of the Dead. So actually the 31st is Halloween, the 1st of November is the Day of the Dead. So we go to the cemeteries and we light candles on the graves. And on the 2nd of November, that is All Saints' Day. And so this is really a 3-day festival where you have a lot of otherworldly commotion, let's put it this way. Why? Because this part of the year is unique in the sense that the veil between the worlds, the dimensions, is the thinnest. So that's why they put all these festivals around this time of the year, because even those who never saw anything strange did see through the veil, did see ghosts and premonitions and strange stuff. So that's why we celebrate, and it's 3 days. So to me it was quite fascinating, because when I did research into the certain festivals, the yearly festivals, how they developed and what sort of rituals are associated with them. Sometimes you do have 2 days. So, for instance, Bertan is celebrated both on the 30th of April, but also on the 1st of May. And sometimes you have accompanying festivals as well, but not 3 days. And 3 days has a special meaning in many sense. It is the resurrection of Christ, and it's also the resurrection of the moon goddess, because usually the Balsamic moon is 3 days. So right before the new moon, you have 3 days of blackness, and this time of the year is kind of similar to that. Okay, now let's see the Budapest chart. If you want to do this, and if you want to look at it in your own place, all you need to do is just take a look at it any time of the day. I chose Budapest because that's my hometown. I'm presently now here, and you will see that it is at 12 noon. Don't pay attention to this because I just simply didn't want to retype it, but this is the year. Here down below you have the valid day and date and time. What is fascinating in the Budapest chart is that Mars is rising on the midheavens. It's exactly on the midheaven, and as you will see, it is at 29 degrees 52, so it's anaretic. Some of the planets are still retrograde: Pallas Athena, Neptune, Chiron, the asteroid Lilith, of course Aries, Uranus, Sedna, and of course the nodal axis, and also Ceres. But Pluto and Jupiter and of course Mercury are already direct, and we have a last quarter moon. The moon is in Leo, and the moon will play an important role in the most important aspect configuration that I made a drawing for you. So here's first the first drawing, and later on we are going to look at the transcendental objects as well. I left Mars here just to tell you a few words about anaretic. Whenever we have a planet at the last degree of the signs of a sign, we call it anaretic, and it usually means, if you find this in a natal chart, it means that the native was unable to surpass, unable to exceed, unable to finish, to complete the things associated with that particular archetype. Mars in Libra, anoretic, means a completely stalled Mars. So your will is not moving anywhere, but it's also in the midheaven in the Budapest chart. So in London around 11 o'clock, that is going to be a powerful placement, even though it's a weak Mars. It's a weak tentative Mars. By around 2:15 to 18 p.m. London time, Mars is moving into Scorpio. According to the old rulership, it's going to be in its own sign and very powerful. I don't really think that Mars is so great in Scorpio. I use the new rulership, so I think that Mars belongs to Aries and Aries only, and Pluto is the true ruler of Scorpio. But I'm just letting you know that it's going to be very strong. Now let's take a look at the configuration we have here. First of all, we do have a fire ground trine involving the moon in Leo, the Juno-Venus conjunction in Sagittarius, which is quite funny because Venus is the lover and Juno is the wife. They both get a trine from the moon, the mother. But also you have Aries here, retrograding in Aries. And this fire ground trine, doesn't really contain too much energy. The problem with trines is that they're very beneficial, very harmonious blessings, but there's no energy in them. There's nothing really important. They don't really push things ahead, whereas I mean, fire is usually a sign which is perfect for transformation and also for ignition. But this is just fire and nothing else. Luckily, Jupiter, which turned direct, is reaching an opposition with the moon around 11 o'clock London time or noon Central European time, completing this into a kite. So this is the anchor point, Jupiter, expansion, luck, hope, and believe in yourself, and so that's quite good. And there's of course again the Pluto Aries cardinal square, which is our good friend by now. It really ruined our last year, it kind of ruined half of our year this time, and of course it will be within all for quite a while still in 2022 as well, unfortunately. But anyhow, it gets dissolved by this kite configuration, and there's a little tiny semi-square between Pluto, Venus, and Pluto, Juno. According to Judy Hall, Pluto-Venus aspects can be described as an emotional black hole. There will never be enough love. Everything is getting sucked up in a hole, and you won't feel it, and you crave for more. And Pluto-Juno is about a very committed relationship, a serious committed relationship that lasts until death, really. So that's how we may translate this placement. And the Pluto moon quincunx is a so-called Hades moon. This is how Judy Hall called Pluto moon aspects. So it is the going down very deep into the psyche and uncovering stuff that normally you don't want to see. That's the aspect configuration for the 30th, just one day before Halloween. And actually, the moon will move out of it within hours. Venus is applying, so it's going to be there for another day or two. But the rest of the planets and asteroids will be still there throughout these 3 days. So you can actually count on them. Now let's see what the transcendental celestial objects are adding to the picture. I need to see what I did. I start talking because for some reason I don't see it. I probably, what did I do? Hold on a second. This is not my, I should need to learn somehow to talk and show stuff, and I'm not able to. Hopefully you will get this. Hopefully you will see this. So anyhow, I left Mars here to see for you to see that it's energetic, and this is what we have. Aries is conjunct Horus, the asteroid Horus, and Horus is the first pharaoh, the son of Osiris and Isis, and it's some sort of a Christ figure. Those who are very Catholic, please forgive me, but it is some sort of prototype of a ghost and of the Jesus Christ energy, simply because of the fight for the good, because of conquering darkness and conquering evil, Seth. So it's a very powerful image on Aries, which is drastically altered outward circumstances. You have an interesting triple asteroid conjunction on Jupiter: Niobe, Sappho, and Geisha. Geisha is obvious; she is the hooker energy. Niobe or Niobe is the grieving mother who is losing all her children, 7 boys and 7 girls, simply because she's committing hubris against Leto, the mother of Artemis and Apollo, because she says that she is a lot more, she weighs a lot more because she delivered 14 children. And of course, the gods are punishing her, killing all her children, and she's turned into a rock. It's a very interesting image if you consider it, but what it tries to suggest to you is that motherhood contains grief, especially when you lose your children. When you lose all your children, that's even more terrible. Now Sappho, and of course Jupiter, by the way, is enlarging the whole thing. And then Sappho, which I'm almost sure you know, was a Greek poetess who was lesbian. So you would think that this is some sort of a lesbian asteroid, and unfortunately, no, that's not her main role. I wasn't even aware of this. One of my colleagues examined a mass accident where a lot of children died. 17 children died there. And she obtained all their charts, all their birth data, and Sappho cropped up as one major significator that each of them had. And she asked me, why? And I couldn't answer her. I had no idea. And much later, about a year later, I came across a piece of myth where it is described that Sappho fell in love with a beautiful boy, and this boy had this uncanny otherworldly beauty because he was a he took over Venus to the other side of the river, and Venus was so happy with this that she gave eternal beauty and ethereal eternal beauty to this boy, to this youth, and Sappho fell in love with him. But of course, it's an unrequited love. He would not talk to her, and she finally commits suicide. She just falls off a cliff. So there's this motive of joint suicide, joint death, and so be careful, please. Okay. Halloween is a festival where anything can happen. Just watch yourself. And Jupiter, of course, can enlarge anything. Then Pluto is on two asteroids, Cybele, who is a great goddess, and Thalia, who is a muse, so 2 important, strong feminine. And then the Venus-Juno conjunction is on Asclepius, Nagasaki, and the fixed star Rumium. Nagasaki is destruction, complete destruction. It's the second Japanese city that got bombed but got nuked. Asclepius is healing. It's about complete healing, and so in this way you can say that a demolition of the old relationship and getting healed with this Venus Juno, which is the wife and the lover jointly. And then Grumium is the star of Draco. It is in the jaws of, actually the lower jaw of the celestial dragon. And the whole dragon energy is linked to hiding or protecting or creating some sort of treasure. So that is what Grumium is signifying, especially because the jaws, I mean, any constellation where there's a head, and the head is able to talk, it's always linked to uttering certain things that are either important or relevant or valuable in some point of view, from some point of view. And here the celestial dragon is keeping a treasure or creating a treasure by uttering stuff, by words. Okay, so this is what we have on the eve of Halloween. Have fun, don't drink too much, give treats to the kids, and I see you next time. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.